Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hottronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Nacho.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they said? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings. Photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet, man.
Man, I don't even know.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource, man. Shout out to my man Stack and Smed, you know what I'm saying? He at home right now, he getting well, you know what I'm saying? He sent his best regards. He said he can't wait to come back because he said I'm doing a terrible job at the promo list, so I'm doing a better job today, y'all. So listen, make sure y'all go to Shiekhs All Breakfast for the breakfast in the morning, some of the best breakfast in the city with my man Ron, see my man Short Dog. Whenever you get hungry for lunch, make sure you holler at Agnes All Natural Grill, and like they got the good cocoa bread. I always get the pineapple bowl when I go down there. If you ever injured in an accident, make sure you contact attorney Michael Wright. Make the right choice. You want to get bent, you want to get lint, you know what I mean? You got some Kiara Wine, which is a really big sponsor. Shout out to my man Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. It's also at the More for Less. You can go inside there and cop it without no problem, but he'll pull down on you, man. Like literally, you say his name 3 times, he bumped through the door like Kool-Aid Man, you know what I mean? So Kiara Wine is lit, and for sure y'all want to show love to one of our biggest supporters of our channel, which is the shoparea.com. The shoparea.com is like the baby Amazon, you know what I'm saying? From the store to your door in 4 business days, man. But without further ado, make sure y'all cop some merch too, man. Capitalist Clothing, man. We lit. Man, we have a really special guest, which, you know what I'm saying? You can't call one person a guest, but you know what I mean, man. We from the hood, man. We got a very legendary guest here today. We got DNA Productions in the building, man. What's good, y'all?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Good, man.
Different story.
For sure, man. So here on the Legendary People Podcast, we like to find out the origins of our stars. So without further ado, where did y'all grow up, man?
Northwest DYT.
Word.
Greenwich Village. That's where we grew up. That's where we really got our stripes from right there, man. GDC for sure.
Yeah, Word. For sure. So, like, where did y'all like specifically where did y'all grow up at? Like I remember y'all block, like y'all.
Oh yeah, Chicken Street. Right there on St. John's. St. John's. That's right on Gettysburg. 2 pieces for right there and everything. Yeah, right there on St. John's in England.
Word, man. So, like, what was it like growing up around there?
I mean, it was typical hood behaviors. You know, you make your choices, make your decisions. A little bit of everything was going on right there. You know, you could go either way for real.
Word. So, like, who were some of y'all early musical influences?
I would say, like, early on, like, because we started doing music, of course, in the church. Like, my mother was one of the, was a Shirley Caesar singer.
Yes.
And so I started playing drums in the church at like 6. Me and my brother, we sung in the choir. But as we got older, of course, you know, we engaged the culture.
Yeah,
put it down. We engaged the culture, and the culture engaged us. So
Right.
the music was always there. It's just what we rapped about at the time or what we did with it. So we were beatboxing on the porch. That's how we made our first song. Really, our first song was like it was called "Ooh Girl." That was the only lyric.
Ooh girl.
And yeah, I got a lead guitar for Christmas, and my brother got like a bass, and we just cranked it out in the room. Like so, it was always just a talent. But you know, our era, New Edition, yeah,
like Bone
for sure,
Twister, E40.
But we were always like, you know, definitely students of, you know, music in general. And I think that really is just the era we grew up in. It was just hot to do rap. Like if we grew up in the 60s, we would probably done that, you know. But it was
like
always
doo-wopping and all that.
Yeah, we'd be out there. You know what I mean? Like whatever we was doing, we was gonna get out there one way or another. So
Word. So was it your mom and your dad at the crib, or was it just mom? You know what I'm saying? Was it just mama love?
So at first, yeah, I think my parents were together until I was like 13 years old, and so that's how we got some Trotwood ties. Because when you know they moved us out of Greenwich Village to Trotwood, and then
breaking in the crib,
and then we had that separation happen. We moved back to Greenwich Village in a different house. So you know that's how we ended up knowing, you know, just different type of people. Like the difference in you know the Trotwood era at that time versus what Dayton was. It was completely different.
Right.
You know, different mixture and things like that. So.
Yeah. So like what was that like that transition going from, you know, having dad there to not having dad there?
I feel like it was a lot of. I learned a lot after Pops was gone. A little bit more freedom, a little bit more, you know, less supervision. Put it that way. Got a chance to, I don't know, kind of dig in the dirt and find out who he was. You know what I mean? So it was all good. It was just a stepping stone.
Yeah. And what was that transition like moving from GVC to Trotwood for that little moment?
So we was little. So like we always it's weird because like Townview they consider that Trotwood, but it's like a big split. It's weird how that
TVT.
Y'all know how that is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, we know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm saying like man, that was crazy. So we always would go like my mom and my cousin Dre, who you know he's sitting here with us. Our moms was cousins, but they was like best friends. Like that was the only friends they had. So when I met them, it was like, hey, we going over here first time, and we was like, that's your cousin, get out in the yard, you know. So when it came down to it, like we were young at first when we were in Greenwich Village, and then we moved to Trotwood, and I think, like I said, I was about 13. So we may have been out there for maybe 10 years, 10, 12 years or something like that. So coming back, you know, it was more. That was the bigger transition, you know, not going from Dayton to Trotwood. It was more from Trotwood. You know, I was in the drum corps, and so I'm playing drums this way, and I go to Patterson, and it's something totally.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they out there swinging.
and we out here. I mean, I'm like, oh, and I'm just, it's just a whole nother ball game. My brother went from, you know, Trotwood to Dunbar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or use a Wilbur Wright. So I mean, just different where you don't see that many, you know, multicultural people in Dayton. It's like everybody like you. My dad was gone, so my mom was trying to figure out how to raise some men. So it was really just us, and that's what my brother meant by that freedom, you know.
Right. Word. So Dre, I mean, what was your first impression of them when like you seen them come out there?
Deep work. When I met,
we was dancing.
right.
Talk about it. Talk
We was
about
dancing
it.
at that point,
Right.
but we was like 8.
They was young.
Like,
So by that time, we're gonna start at Trotwoods in the basement. So by then, I'm maybe 15, 16. I'm dibbling and dabbling in the music actually. So, like you said, all of our our mothers were best friends. But they were cousins.
Right.
So, meanwhile, in between, my parents used to stick me, him. They got sisters. They got 2 sisters. Shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Lynn.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Show
I
sister
got
love.
a brother. Shout out to JJ. And they
JJ.
stuck us. They Joe Jacksoned us.
What?
They Joe Jackson.
Literally?
Yes,
For
literally.
real.
So we went to
without the beatings.
Oh,
Without the beatings.
right.
We won't get beat.
That's the only part I was thinking. I said, did it? I'm whipping your ass.
That's right. I told you.
Wait.
I'm like, bro, snitching on.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Have us at the family reunion, like, let's talk about this podcast, sir. Joe Jackson.
Hey, Joe Jackson, man. I mean that insane.
Yeah, in a good way.
In every church in the Dayton, Ohio vicinity, we sung at. Shout out to the Ridley's Angels.
Word.
We sung in every church.
Relativity.
Word.
We literally, we had to make up our own church song, so we flipped it with, remember Play Another Slow Jam?
Yeah.
This is the love of Jesus.
Okay, he still got it.
We was young.
And that boy good.
Yeah, that boy good.
We end up, so by that time, by the way, I'll say I'm the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
So I went on out in the streets. And in between time, they start getting older. So mind you, they have braids in their hair, plaits in their hair. Like, Dre, what's up? Can we? You know, by that time, it's on St. John's. So one day, I heard this. They was rapping. They said, "Ever since birth with a curse."
My first rap.
What?
Okay. So I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
So I took them immediately to Townview.
Wow.
I was 13.
Immediately, so I had them go up against every niggas I seen that knew how to rap.
So boom. Let's start there. So you went because, like, you know what I'm saying, he take you to the block. What's it like for you at that point? Like, in hindsight, looking back.
We ran through everything.
Yeah, we just ran through it. Like when he say, like, honestly, I want to say, and I step out and say, like, one of the core things about DNA coming out was that verse, ever since birth and the curse. It was like I think we were so young, and it was really just me talking about how I was feeling.
Yeah,
I guess it was not. Now we got COVID, so now I know it was like mental health. Didn't nobody use that word like 2 years ago. Everybody like, my mental health.
It's like, man, what? Man, we been go down.
Man, I've been rapping
my whole
life.
nap or something about mental health.
Yeah.
Take a nap. A nap fix everything. A nap and ginger ale fix everything.
And water.
And water.
I got a headache. You better drink some more water. Hey, everything was drink more water. Like that.
Right.
Do y'all remember this? Is there any grown folks in here?
Right.
Get your
Get
ass
out.
in
Yeah,
here.
Right. Yeah.
So we really started like battle rapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, before we even recorded a song, we cousin just set us up in the hood with different battle raps, and we always came out on top. And then we kind of took off from there. He named us. Gave us our first show up at the Silver Fox.
The Silver Fox, the legendary Silver Fox.
Yeah,
legendary.
For instinct, I literally knew that I'll just say this in layman's terms. They were the first set of new, like, you had the era. You had the Dr. E's and all of this other stuff. But they were the first set of spitters.
Right.
Like spitters.
Spitter.
So this is early 90s.
Right.
So niggas didn't know.
Like, y'all style was different though, because like y'all actually rap fast when that wasn't even the norm. Like now, like somebody doing it's like, oh yeah, you trying to act like this. Y'all were really like the originators of the forefront.
It's a different fast too.
It was a mixture between fucking like West, East. It's just like a mixing pot of a whole bunch of shit.
Right.
Because they studied.
Students of the game.
We studied
immediately. Every show that I had, they going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how it kicked out. That was back in what? Probably 93.
Because like I say, so my son, he rap now. He 20, right? Don't do the math for my age. But he's 20.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I still remember the first rap I ever wrote. And he was like, for real, spit it. And I was like, okay, I spit it. And he was like, you would. And he got all the elements of the rap. The guys did he could do all the things. And it's just one of those things. So we always wanted to make music that when you pop it in, it's not dated. Like you'll be able to appreciate it for what it was, even if it was in a moment in time. Like, of course, everybody had their you know, we was rough. We was actually out there doing some of these things, and so we rapped about that. But we also always had like melodies and harmonies that other people didn't have. It wasn't just beats and raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was whole concepts, and we would string 3 songs together, and there would be a story. Like, and people really wasn't doing that. They was just, you know, still on mixtapes.
Literally, I could put a stack on the table right now. I bet I ain't seen them in like a about a year.
Yeah.
Been a little while, man.
They don't look like they can sing. We could do harmony right now.
Wow.
Not now, but right now.
Wow.
He said right now.
Like
Yeah, it ain't
because
lost. Yeah.
How we grew up, we knew how to we knew hearing, we knew
Right.
keys, we knew all of that because of we grew up in the church.
And see,
church,
this
right.
guy was always been a comedian. So going back to your question with the whole DNA thing, it wasn't no thought to it. It was like we was on stage, we didn't have a name. We was about to do a song, and it was like, so what do you
y'all
call it? David and Eric? DNA.
Right.
And here we are, right? And so
That's
and
hard.
that's exactly
That's
it.
hard, though.
And
That's
we never
hard.
changed it.
Because the reason why I named them that, they brothers, DNA, right? So
Right.
they got the same.
DNA.
What's their name?
DNA. Bro, that's hard, bro.
Dave, Aaron.
Yep.
Bro.
Yep.
Bro,
Yeah.
you've been a nice little marketing little
Yeah,
genius
yeah,
on the
yeah.
low for a long time.
Yeah, the whole
For a long time.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
bro. So yeah,
No
man.
doubt.
So that coming together that early in y'all life, it's probably like y'all probably don't appreciate it as much y'all do now today because y'all know how much hard work it going to doing what y'all still do because like y'all still do, you know what I'm saying, like y'all different things such as you working out and you got your son as football, all the type of stuff going on. So like y'all know how much go into it then. So like the real question is saying like, so like back then, like what was the motivating factor besides just like rapping? What was y'all real motivation when it came to music back then?
I feel like I don't like my motivation. I wanted to be the best. Also, I felt like I was born into this shit. Like,
Right.
Before we even was born, my mom, like I say, she was singing with Shirley Caesar, and my whole family pretty much do music, sing, rap, produce. We still produce now. So my motivation was I really, you know, the same motivation as most people. You want the bag and you want all that, but it was like I'm gonna be honest. I'd do this for free.
Yeah.
If I just wanted
it's
to
a
be
passion. That's that
I
passion.
wanted to be the best and you know and be respected in all the circles.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I feel that, and I wanted you to answer because I wanted to know what that answer was because I think it changed as time went on. You know what I mean? Like so, yeah. We started out like we was dating. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't care if so. Dating mentality to me is like this. Like at the time. Who was the hottest rapper? Oh, Bone. Well, we gonna learn every word and we gonna twist it up. Twister. We not open for Twister. Like when we was young, like and he played us low key. Hey, Twister, holla at us now, though. You know what I'm saying? We got something for you.
We're gonna table that story for a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll table it. But anyway, it was just hit. But looking back on it, it really was more how many other cats came the same way, right? So, but it was like those people that we idolized, we wanted to brutalize too. So it's like, okay. You hot. You the hottest thing. You do this really well. So I'm gonna do it as well as you, and then take it up a notch. I think that's where it grew. After we knew we could do that, and we had the ear, like Dre said, and we were able to like do music and really like listen to something on the radio, and then go in the studio and put something together like that. After that, we started to get. We had a bigger appetite. So it's like, man, the world need to see this little bitty Dayton. Right. And so we had that Dayton chip on our shoulder. Now it's like, oh, I do it for my city. It's like, you know, don't nobody know us if we don't get out here and get it. And we was doing what a lot of rappers did in that era, and probably now trying to bring the world to Dayton. And so that's when I ended up realizing, like, I gotta go because Dayton is in me. So I moved to Texas for like 9 years doing music down there and doing different things. So I think it just was more about putting our city on, and then like the representation at the time. Everybody was trying to really have a different sound. Like, you know, it was a lot of cats that swore up and down. It was like really from Atlanta or you know what I mean, like. And we just never switched. We never switched it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we just never would. Even to this day, it's still a DNA style. Like that's what we wanted to create. Music that created its own genre. Like, oh, that's that DNA style. Like, okay, I see what you're doing right there. You know, not like, oh, well, you sound like this. Everything is about emulating the hottest record. You know, and so there's no authenticity in music anymore. So.
Absolutely.
But we always was looking for that though.
So like, who was some of the contemporary artists during that time? Like, who was outside? Like. During the time like y'all was rapping and stuff. I mean, y'all done battled a lot of people, so I'm pretty sure y'all done ran into a couple people that are notable. So like, who are some of the people like y'all done battled or ran into in the field?
Let's see. I just remember, and on the battle rap side, from Dayton. Oh man. So one of our first battle raps, we was going up against a kid, Mo Beats and them. It was like heads up. They was hot at that time, but they was the So we went to the Oregon. Where they at? It was more like we was in there.
Oregon
Listen.
was a little section, but
Listen, we
yeah.
used to feel like
Industry
that.
out then.
By the Industry Records, they was called Industry or
That was
something.
Mo Beats and all of them.
Skano and them was doing. It
George
was
and them.
Yeah,
George
Tall
and them.
Life.
George, Tall Life. Man, I forgot about them guys.
Yeah.
Yup, and then you had Cam. Cam was out. He was
Cam
hot.
was hot.
But it wasn't like going around just like battling them guys. Like so, we at that time we had like met Shetty like through playing drums and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And like we would battle each other like just
Sparring.
just sparring, yeah. But when we like first met up, we're like, okay, what was Frost?
Frost.
Because remember he used to rap in the circle, and man,
I
he
still
cool.
holler at
We
Frost.
cool with all of them now,
Yeah.
but like we had a chip on our shoulder to the point to where we like, okay,
A cipher always turned into a battle on the low.
listen. We would meet dudes that we just met, like going to rap shows and stuff. Like one time we won something for 92.1, and it was at Tiffany's. I think that was performance based.
We was winning everything.
But the bottom, I think it was more because we was kind of wild though. It was like if we gonna be respected regardless. Either y'all played us or we won. We on some like it's no way,
Yeah.
and we'll give it up where it was due. But
There was a couple fights happening at some of these events.
Man, listen, like you can't beat us up. So
I
or you ain't willing to go as far as I'm willing to go. Like if you it wasn't no touching and spitting on people. Like how they be doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
ain't no way.
Battle rap crazy.
Boy,
now,
no, yeah,
bro.
that's a whole nother animal now.
You
real
really
lean.
understand though, I mean, that, like they were at the cusp of. Remember, there was a day in time when rappers and singers wasn't cool at all.
Right.
It wasn't the shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all was at the cusp of it being cool.
Because I remember
and not being cool. And so
the
therefore
Pac
you
Pac
had
Biggie beef, and it
Right.
was beef, but it was like nationwide beef. Like you better pick a side. Like I don't live on neither one of them.
Right.
So we was just like Midwest. Like we used to just and we didn't grow up with a lot of gang activity. So it was rep your hood.
Right.
Or or not. You know,
Right.
there's that group of people. You know who they are. If
Yep.
you see one, the other one ain't far.
Right.
You know how it is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we
sure.
just had a click like that, and we wasn't going for
shout
it.
out
Like
to the twins, man.
shout out to the twins.
Yes.
P90, that's my dog right there. You know what I mean?
Bro, we got a lot of people that we Boss. You
Boss?
know, Boss was supposed to be up here, but I think he had to end up doing something. We had a.
But that's like the
all-in
second
clique.
phase. We had so many
Yeah, that
phases.
was like the
like
second phase once
Yeah.
we got to doing more producing and stuff.
All in entertainment. That we got some stripes on All in Entertainment.
Yeah.
That AWLIN.
Remember the
Man.
show at Rubenstein's?
Oh man,
shit.
yeah,
That
the
was the
Rubenstein
shit,
show.
So like during the time, I mean, like, are y'all going through a booking agent, or is like brother really like the one who like scheduling shows and then he get y'all linked in for shows and stuff?
We was doing everything in house.
They-
We was doing everything in house. Yeah.
It was like that. However, it was a point in time where, shout out to Kevin Nara.
For sure.
Niggas that I ran into, they always would take me, and as a group, as a package deal, they coming with me.
Right.
So it always was like there's a 6 months period we fucking with these cats. We doing shows and everything, and then all of a sudden, these niggas go independent, making their own album.
Oh, okay.
Right. We wasn't. Yeah, we just started doing everything in house. Even before we had the spot on Gettysburg, like we was in. I mean, basement studios, living room studios. Like I can remember, you could play any. What we did about 4 or 5 albums, just over that span of time. That was either mixtapes or just real albums, and just figuring out new ways to do it. But I could tell you, like some of them was done on a 1680,
Right.
the rolling 1680, and some of them was done, and none of them was done on Fruity Loops though. Like we
Right.
didn't even know we didn't even know how to record on Fruity Loops, like vocals. We was making beats and stuff like that. But some of our beats on our first album was us playing the whole track to track the entire time because we
Yeah.
just didn't have the equipment. And I only started making beats. We
Like
started making,
sequencing, basically.
yeah,
like,
basically the whole
that
thing.
era. Yeah.
If you lose this,
Tell
it's
these
gone.
little
Yeah.
young niggas about sequencing, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
When you
man.
mess up one part, you gotta start out.
Start all
Shit,
over.
I'm gonna throw
hey.
this damn chair.
It forced you to be a better musician, though, right? It forced you to do the work. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. Man, that's
It
real.
made you be a professional.
Yes,
Like, it made you be a
right,
professional.
yes.
They got it good.
Like,
I ain't hating on them or nothing.
like I remember when it was like you would get bitched at for having to punch in. Like, bro, you better get this on the first take.
Yeah. You better know, man. You got words, really.
Shout out
Yeah.
to
You
wrote
Ron
that to-
Wilson.
Man, Ron Wilson,
Ron
out
Wilson.
in Dave Mong, Ron Wilson. That was one of the first
Yeah.
ones.
Ron
Dean
had
Ellis,
that look. If you fuck up, he'll just be like,
and then the track out. This is the studio process. Period. You know how long it take. You bring a beat. Like Mo will be like, man, you want to make a beat, and then You go up there and then it could be 8 tracks, man. It's gonna take you like 2 hours just to track them out before we can record.
Yep.
We like, I mean, it was a brutal process. Like right now, man, you could literally like beatbox your beat. I mean, it's crazy.
Punch a nigga in the death.
Punch, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
These are Walmart rappers that we have.
Oh my God.
They don't
Word.
understand that. They don't understand the motherfucking, like, they don't understand 16 bars always.
No,
These
they
are
don't.
one-take
Oh,
cats.
yeah.
These are
Yeah.
And I'm a one-take singer, not to put my own.
I mean, bro, you would
That's
let
what
that
we
be a
grew up
podcast, nigga. Pop yesterday, bro.
Yeah, that's
You know what
where.
I'm saying?
That's
okay,
where.
look,
yeah.
I'll tell you this. So, I got to a point where I wanted to take the shit fucking nationwide. So, I went to Atlanta. Remember the...
Yeah.
I took the shit.
I was in Texas.
Was in Texas. But that's another show.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, they went independent, so it switched over to me getting
Them
the
on
hookup.
to now they done.
pulling me.
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to happen like that. Feel me? One hand wash, the other both wash the face. So,
Absolutely, yeah, man. Absolutely.
but let's talk about the Keith and the Kevin. You know what I'm saying, the twins. So, like, how'd y'all link up with them? And
We linked up with the twins through through Dre and Kevin Nor. We had a
Dre the plug, man.
Right, you know what I mean?
Dre the
Yeah, no idea.
plug.
Like this
right.
right here, it's so much
that
history
guy,
right
man.
here. Like for real, for
We
real.
we started off with Don't Stop Records.
Don't stop.
And the twins was Don't Stop Records. Everybody back to Townview again.
Yep,
Everybody
TBT.
knew him from Townview, man. Rest in peace to the twins too, man.
Mama's Boys. That was that.
Yeah,
name.
Mama's Boys,
Yep.
and they also renamed. They had the album twice.
Twice.
Yeah, that's how we end up linking with them.
And
we was
Flip.
all,
Don't forget
Yep,
Flip. Flip was
yep.
it was in that group.
And we was all from we all was on the same independent label, Don't Stop Records. That's what we started off
Yep, so it
doing.
was just three
I
acts
grew
on
up
that
with
label.
I grew up
Yeah.
with Keith and Kevin. We all the same age, right? So Keith, I used to work at the Shell. Shout out to Shell gas station on Gettysburg.
Legendary.
Legendary. A many a case has been
Yeah.
caught.
Riding the bar. Hey, bro. Hey, riding the bird, you had to slide
You had to
through
slide
there.
through. If it was jumping, I was like, man, go up here.
What?
Yeah,
the
man.
gas station.
Yeah.
So that's how we linked up.
Okay.
The twins came up to the gas station one day. And it was like, Drake, we need you to sing on the hook. It went from me singing on the hook to me telling them, I got these cousins, man, like you got to hear. And it's just like magic. As soon as these niggas hear them, it's like, hey, who y'all sang with?
Yeah, it was answer.
Hold up. Shout out to Swan, because Shannon was on there. She was solo. And then Lynn.
Yes.
Kayla. Lynn had we was deep. We was deep and we was building something for real, man.
So the gospel group that we got Joe Jackson from, it went to R&B.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it switched
So,
over.
wait. So it went from y'all out there battling, like y'all got y'all punches and everything together with the, you know what I'm saying, like the rapid fire punches back and forth to now y'all harmonizing and singing, bro.
We was doing it all. Yeah, we
was doing it all. Actually,
doing it all.
the harmonizing and the singing came first.
Yeah, we was doing that first.
And we went to battle, then we went back, and it was like a.
So I shout out to Rick B, because Rick B. He used to me and him used to go to Texas, and also that whole era of people. Be as hot, they had they had their thing going. But Rick B, one day we was in Texas, and he was like, "Hey man, this dude Drake, he gonna take your spot." He kept telling me like, "Man, you need to sing and rap." I was like, "Man, I ain't doing it soft. I'm not, cause I can sing, and we can string it together. We do it now all the time, right?" But he used to, but he did it in a way that was like being funny though, but not being funny. He like, "Man, I'm telling you, man,
bro.
Like this dude, man. When you hear Drake, he took, and when Drake came out, he's like, he took your style. That was your time, crucial. You should have did it." And I was like, "Man, it is what it is. I think I still sound better than whatever. You know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, nigga, you from Dayton. You definitely sound better.
Yeah. But exactly the reason why I wasn't doing it, because I was from Dayton. Because like, man, dude, we was up there. I'm outside, mother. I mean, we, and then the energy of DNA. That's another thing, man. Our showmanship was off the hook. Like we was our own backups. Like, I mean, like, so we got out there and before the word turned up, man. Right. We had still. I can't even get on stage without that.
What was one of y'all greatest like performances where like we can go individually, of course. When do you feel like, man, like this is the greatest thing ever? Like, what's y'all moment in music like that?
Man, I done been on a lot of stages.
That Cincinnati show when y'all did. Was that
That one
Kentucky?
it was Cincinnati. It was
Yes, y'all
we was still
acted
young.
up.
I'm gonna say it like this. Look, we had to think about it.
When we
I'ma
had the
say-
memo that needed a carburetor or something.
What up, fam? What's up, What up, fam?
That's my guy.
The-
Yeah, we was
had a
having.
memo
We had
that
to.
needed
We went
some
on a little
ball
tour.
bearings, some bearings, a whole
Yeah,
limo.
a whole limo. But I
Yeah.
would say, like, for me, because it's a lot of them. That's a really good question, and you'll probably get a lot of different answers depending on what era we talking about. Because I feel like we went through some different phases. So like that show in Newport, like we was fresh, like that was our first big, like, we going out of town, we got a show.
Right.
And
We
then
went to Jackson.
and
We
we
did
went
a
to Jackson. We
little
did a
mini
little
tour.
mini tour. And then me and my brother, we went down to Chicago with a group that we were, that was in just DNA production era where we was only doing that. But I would say when we brought the All In back, because see, All In started it was more like it was DNA, Reek B, Chronic.
Yeah.
He was in it for like a month.
Coach Chronic.
Yeah, he went away for what?
Y'all had y'all little.
We put it together. We had our little crib, Biz Hop. Who else was up there with us? That was really it.
It was just we just messed with like everybody who was super hot and who we was
And
cool
that's
with
what
at
that's
the
what
time.
All In. It was like, okay, we got all these artists.
You know,
Anybody
these are
could be
unsung
All In.
heroes,
That's
man.
a dope
Anybody
ass
could be all in.
concept that like I wish like we would like own that now. Like,
I know.
it's like,
We would
we
be
got
a
so much
force.
talent and we always be our biggest worst like
Biggest
enemy,
one, man.
yeah.
That's that dating mentality. It's
Yep.
like crabs in a bucket, man. And unfortunately, when I went to Texas, I realized how not only small dating was, but also how small the dating mentality is. And I say that as it's a strength and a weakness. Like
Yes.
that small mentality we have, it keep us safe.
Yes.
So we don't. Hey, I'd rather beef with you. At least I know where we stand, right?
Yeah.
But it's the guy next to you that you like. Hey, when you go in, I don't know what you're gonna say on the stand, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it'd be more like let me isolate. So it just it never like transfer over to business or anything. Like what I heard somebody say. You could be drowning in the ocean and saying somebody come and save you, and you be hating on the boat that they came in. You see what I'm saying? Like, I shout out to Bizzle. That was Bizzle. I
That's
listened to a
all.
lot of
That's
music,
a ball.
and I was like,
Yeah,
man,
that's
that ain't
definitely a
mine. But I was like, that's the truth. Like, dang, bro, you don't even got. You asked me for some money, I give you some money, and it ain't what you want. Now you mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Yeah.
you asked me though. You feel me?
Right.
So that's what I mean by the dating mentality. So when I went to Texas, I realized that like how many people from home don't go far as Cincinnati.
Yep.
Like I got to drive that far to go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. That's a whole group of people. They won't go to Cleveland. They not going nowhere. So it's whoever come here can tell them anything. So you got somebody from Detroit come down here, see something you like, he gonna tear you apart.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you mentally, your mind is too small. You can only see as far as you can imagine, right?
Exactly.
Or imagine as far as you can see in some cases. But at the end of the day, when I went to Texas, I was like, okay. So I'm the only dating dude in the room. Like I don't sit around calling. We don't talk like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that was going on in the South, I'm like, we don't move like that. We don't dance with each other. We don't. And so I'm bringing another element, and it clicked for me. Like, okay, in order to get your city, put it on the map, you got to get out of the city and do it from out there.
Yes.
Because that's where your true. If you can go pick up a microphone, put on a beat that you produce, and get in front of a crowd of 50,000 and rock that crowd, and they not from your hometown, they don't know you, they ain't got no skin in the game with you. That's when you know. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when we did that as All In with the newer All In, just going forward, where it was Shetty was still in it for a while, and then it was DNA, and then we picked up Boss and Biz. So a little bit of a different dynamic to it, but it was a spot downtown, man, and I know it was a hard crowd, man, and everybody go up there, they like, yeah, man, people waiting all day, like going into that, and I think that's when I finally realized, like, man, we need to move around from this, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like evolution, and then you take some steps back or whatever, but what we was looking for was out there. We wasn't no way we would have made it here.
So like, was that like one of your like crown moments? Was
I think that was one of the best shows, that I could see. I mean, but we had, like I said, just getting on stage with Cam and at the it was a big fight that night at not the Fox, not the Silver Fox. What is it? It used to be. Was it used to be Kicks?
Yeah.
The big building across from the railroad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Your
Diamond-
place. That was
Diamond's
called your place
Your
at that
Place.
time. It was called your.
It was all
Man,
of them, all
oh,
three.
boy,
Kicks, Diamonds,
listen.
Your Place.
Right. Yeah, it was all three, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember Kicks. Which one was the oldest? I don't know. Kicks is probably the oldest. Shout out to all my club Kicks. Oh yeah, Your Place for real. That's your place was like the first. What's the one where dudes start taking over all the clubs in the city? See, I'm still far away from like I don't even live here, but
Spunkies.
oh my God, he says we're done. We're done here. All right, look. He done did it, took a wrong turn.
So, like, what was your greatest moment as like an artist?
I feel like me personally, it might not have been a big show, but when we went down to Texas to D Bellum's, oh yeah, and we did the same thing that we did in the city, which was go down there, battle, and win. Cause I think he ended up being first place, I ended up being second place. We had to battle each other, and it was like.
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever.
That's
like,
when it clicked in my mind. Like, man, listen, this ain't just a dating thing. This is a universal thing. They love us here. They love us there. We was on top. Wherever we went. That was when the kicker was like, listen, yeah, we got something cooking.
Right. I mean, to me, like you touched on like a real like subject, right? Which is like our dating rapport of how like we carry ourselves. It kind of is like. Everybody here carry themselves like they're a star already. Every single body here. Every single one of us could be a star somewhere in a different section of the planet. We just happen to all be born and dating, right? Because I promise you, everybody I interviewed that are legends, they all had the same mantra. Like, they could be in a room with Diddy. They could be in a room with Busta Rhymes. They could be, and they still carry themselves with a, I ain't happy to be here.
Right.
Which we come from this environment and pressure cookers and to who we are. And it seemed like if we just came together, like what y'all was doing right then would be so perfect now.
For now.
If
we can get people from cutting each other's throat and stabbing each other. Because that was
man, y'all beat ass at y'all shows too, man. I ain't let y'all get that off, man.
I don't recall.
I'll recall.
I plead the fifth.
Contact Michael Attorney Wright. You ever been injured by one of these motherfuckers at the show? Contact Michael Wright. Shout out to Michael Wright. Nah, so like let's talk about the show when Twister tried to play y'all.
Okay, so this is what it was. Shout out to Twister, man. I would love to do a song with Twister, by the way. But so this is what happened. We had a guy named. He was afraid of us. We was more. We was. Just
I don't know why y'all beat everybody up at the show.
No, see, it wasn't the beat up. It was you knew what was gonna happen if you tried to play us.
Right,
like
okay,
you know what I'm saying. We had a little fire.
That.
We had some fire up under us. You know, we were just going for nothing, right? But where?
The Twister shit.
It was inside though. It was inside at the fairgrounds, and so it was Twister and the Speed Not Monsters, right? So we had been winning so much stuff, like we would win, like y'all open up for Twister, or y'all got this, we was winning, like going and winning competitions and stuff like that, and so we had our little CD. And we was messing with a guy named Mr. Menace. He was from Cleveland, and he was like one of the Bone Thugs and Harmony used to have something called Mo Thug.
Yep.
So he was like kind of messed with them guys a little bit. He had that style. He had moved here for whatever. So that's who he was kind of kicking it with. So it would be DNA and Mr. Menace. So that's who we was just with.
Right.
So we get backstage with him, and he up there with the two guys. They up there smoking, drinking Coronas. I remember it's like it's nothing, like it's yesterday. It's a lot of detail, ain't it? All right, so we like, hey, yo, we didn't hottest thing. We do our thing, blow ourselves up, not humble, not nothing, just like what you saying. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about we in the room with this man. And I'm thinking like, he was like, oh, what up, fellas? Like, but he was just looking like, oh, okay. It wasn't the reaction wasn't what I was looking for.
Exactly.
You could at least faked it at that time, at that point. But again, I'm young and I'm not understanding. Like, man, he probably go through this like everybody all the time, right? So that's why I say at that point in time we felt played. Like now I understand it more. So, but anyway, so I go up there. We like give him the CD. We talk our stuff. We go back down. He come out, do a show. We go up to where they was. CD still in the room.
Oh, wow.
So we got Hustle and Flow before the movie ever came. It wasn't in the toilet. It wasn't in the toilet, but
tell me that fell out your pocket, skinny man.
Skinny man, tell me that fell out your pocket, man. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Skinny man. Tell me this fell out your pocket, man. Like, why y'all always so nervous? Anyway, that's a whole nother. Yeah, I would tell people we silly as we is serious, man. We will let you have it. Anyway, so man, but I felt super played at that point. And then guess what the next music was? We was going that Twister.
Word. Yeah.
Bop, bop, you know what I'm saying? So you want to, but to us, it just drove us more. It wasn't like we stopped. You know, it didn't change anything. Right. But for a long time, like a lot of what he was doing, we really looked up to him as far as like he was doing some stuff that people wasn't just doing, man.
Like Adrenaline Rush, come on.
Like
man,
when I think I'm gonna pick up the pump, and then his cadence was
he
crazy, and it still is crazy.
Yeah,
like he's a raw piece. And so we didn't understand, and you know what I'm saying.
I think it was more of a,
it's a pride thing. Hurt my pride, you know what I'm saying?
thing.
You know what I mean? Like, we can admit that now.
That's my pride.
That's my pride. Like, you know, we put a lot of work into it. We talked about this all week.
Right.
You know what I mean? You feel me?
Right.
Sure, man.
So after that transition of, you know what I'm saying, like you doing those type of shows, but I mean, y'all had bigger shows that came after that. I mean, because y'all went and stuff like that. So, like, the transition of you being unrooted from Dayton, moving down to Texas, that had to be a transition for you. Like, what was that like?
Right.
I mean, because, like, you go dolo, or did you take anybody with you?
So, how it went was, like, okay, so when I got out of high school and we were doing our music and everything like that, like, Reek B and Coach Chronic and, I want to call them by name. Coach and them, they was called, it was letters, 3 letters, it's OTC,
OCD,
ODC.
ODC.
Okay, ODC.
Yeah.
I'm like,
ODC.
man, hey, if y'all hear this, you know my heart is real. I'm trying to get y'all, you know, ODC.
Yeah.
I got to get them up here too.
It's not the Coach, bro, because Coach watched every
been here.
episode.
Coach
Yeah,
been
okay,
here
all right.
by himself.
So at that point, you know what I'm saying? They was going up to Texas way before me, and they was going up making like connections or whatever. I was still, because they was all in Parkside. Shout out to is Parkside still up? No,
No.
Is on the court still up?
It's only in our hearts, y'all.
It's gone.
So the bass,
It's gone.
Bastard. Come on, bro.
Oh my God!
He ain't been here in a while.
I ain't been here in a while. Like,
The last thing to leave this earth is going to be the bass.
Oh my grandma,
Yo!
You got generations deep though that been in some of these projects.
Hilltop, yeah. Some
Daddy's.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? You a fool. They're going to be standing on. Okay,
so they was going before I did. So once we came with the all-in concept, they just turned me on to it. So I would go out there with Rick B for a while, and bro would come out there with me, and you know, back and forth. So then we opened up DNA Productions on 3rd Street. We did that for about 3 years, and you know, it just for us, it felt like it was just too big of an idea in too small a space. Because again, we dealing with people who like, they got hot beats. They may do this, that, or third, but they're not my circle, so they gonna go somewhere else. You know,
Right.
it would dibble and dabble, but more so often we were just doing our own thing because we put a whole studio in there, and we were trying to, you know, do business for what we knew with at that time. You know,
LLC'd it up.
LLC'd it up.
Yeah.
But that's only because again we weren't thinking with the minds. We didn't have the OGs like that was like, hey, you need to go get a lawyer. You need to go. Don't put $8,000 in this other person's bill. Like we had no direct. We had money, but the direction like wasn't there. And then the people that we learned from, like shout out to P90, like that's like a big brother to me. But he only 3-4 years older than me, so
Right.
you know he could only show me what he could show me. You feel me? Or we didn't know how to like. Google wasn't like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we had to get it from people, you know, at that time.
That was the internet.
And
Feel
so,
me?
yeah, I mean,
it was the nigga net.
Yeah, that's it. Like who you knew for real, man.
Word.
And you had to be about something. It had to be about something like, oh yeah, I know, because you know how it is. I explain to people how dating is. I was like, just imagine a place where if you go and be like, hey, you know, Lil Ray or whatever. Well, what's his last name? Johnson. What's his mama name? What? Like people know your whole entire family.
Yeah.
Like if they know you, they know who your baby mama is. It's too small, right?
Absolutely.
So if you ain't in that circle or that line of people, and then they gonna verify, hey, I met this dude named such and such. He said he do ABC, and this dude over here, like, yeah, I know, dude. We got into it when we was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. And then you like, oh, well, I ain't gonna mess with dude because you don't mess with dude,
Exactly.
and then you miss an opportunity, and that's what dating is about.
That's exactly what
you know what I'm
dating
saying.
is. That's
So
exactly
until we
what
cut
dating
all of that out.
The politics.
And realize the politics and get a plate everybody can eat off of if it's done with music, because that's so influential. But right now, like I listen to, you know, the local scene of the music and everything, and it sounds like a replica of everything else. So what makes it special? You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring that. And what made No Limit record special. They were super deep, and you had all type of talent in there. So people tried to. The super teams been in existence. Like Michael Jordan made his first super team.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? So super labels, they've been in existence.
Just people was like, if you ain't messing with him, we got him. For you.
I mean, I can give it to you any kind of way
like
you
that.
want
We got
it.
her. You know
And they couldn't beef in between saying like, oh well, Silk, you sound like C, and C, nah, I need you to sound like Silk. Then you Silk the Shocker, the only dude I ever know to ever rap like that.
Yeah.
Other than nowadays, like people
Blueface.
really Blueface, I was about to say. But
people don't even. John, I'm like,
I mean, it's
the
crazy.
person rapping on beat and getting it off was Silk the Shocker.
Shocker, man. He was the first.
Yeah.
He was the first, and people will argue, say that he was one of the coldest at the time, like, because he was flipping. And it just was like,
I mean,
at the time, people weren't like, oh, Master P, you got such a delivery. Like, nah. They was looking at, like, see, Murder. You looking at something more gang Fiend, you know, some of the more, but even listening to music as, like I said, a study of the game, they were still popular because of how Master P set them up.
Absolutely.
So you want some Fiend or you want Mystical? Well, what's the difference? Because I have a hard time understanding both.
Right.
But one of them is just a little bit more of a draw that, and then, you know, Mystical, he's all over the place, right? So how you want it today?
He like James Brown mixed with.
Yeah.
Right.
So what Master P was trying to design was for every CD in your deck to be no limit.
Right.
that was the objective. Now, how do we do that now? Because it's hard to get in, but collectively, it's enough money in the neighborhood. It's enough money in Dayton to make them labels start to look and come if we just got united. You get 20 or 30 of these hot guys.
Way easier said than done.
It is way easier said than done, but I'm just telling you, let's just say even 10. You got 10 of the hottest rappers right now in the city. And then you got their whole entourages behind them. It's an unstoppable force. For real. People just got to be able to, for real, be like, hey, look, with this music, we starting today. I got a saying that came to me about maybe 6 months ago, and it said, start where you are.
Yes.
If you start where you are every day, you starting somewhere new, right?
Yep.
So that beat from yesterday don't even matter.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
I got a question. What year was it when y'all started doing them community give backs and having the little carnivals at y'all's studio? What year was that?
Yeah.
That was right before I left.
Because y'all was like the first ones kind of doing that, you know, having the carnival set up for the families. You like 3 years in a row.
Had to be between 2000, because I left in 2009. So it had to be around 2007, 2008. So we would do, like, we were right on third, and we would have our elders like, man, y'all know y'all the first black business owners like that y'all age like doing anything like this. But still, because they grew up in Dayton, it wasn't like, hey, let's surround ourselves around this business. This is our community. It's in the historical district. We were thinking with the right mind. We just didn't have
like the infrastructure to power.
Right, I couldn't even Google how do you do this. You feel me? Like we was doing some stuff that we really had no idea what we was doing, but still making it work. So we knew giving back. We knew, okay, this is an opportunity, right? So my first year of college was visual communication. So I knew a little bit about marketing. So I was like, hey, if people start to see us, they need to know we're here, right? And so a lot of people go up and down third. They need to know we're here. So every year we would just put together a free event. We would just be doing the music that we've been working on in the studio, set it up, put some speakers out there. We had like hot dogs. We had face painting, hamburgers.
There was a barber shop next door, a beauty shop.
They came after us though. We was that building had been sitting forever. It used to be like a tax building or something. And so when I was like, man, well, what's up with this building? And then we met shout out to Mr. Perry. I hope you still around here kicking. He was pretty, but he gave us an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no background check. Okay, well, boom. Right. You need some money. We need somewhere to be.
We was messing with Hood. Shout out to Rob.
Shout out to the legendary Rob Hood.
Right, he made our first banner. He made the banner, and he sat back in his chair when I told him what I wanted on the banner, because I was like, I wanted to say All In Productions, and then DNA Productions, and I wanted to say. It was a dope little slogan. It was an LLC, but it was like what we do: pictures, posters, flyers, media. It was what was it? A media center? I think I called it a media center or something. Just the way I worded it. And my idea for what we were thinking about doing was just outsourcing all the work. We still had that same mindset, like, okay, hey Hood, this is the idea we got. Everybody that comes through, they want their pictures or posters. We gonna come to you.
And then you do it.
We were setting up structure without like no background in it. We just knew we got to work together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He was like right there with Smed, and they was doing gold for your mouth and everything.
Yeah.
And we did our photo shoots there, so we still spending money in the hood. Now they call it what is it? Buy black, whatever day they got, right?
Yeah.
But we just trying to support people who not doing hood stuff. Like, okay, dude, he taking pictures, man. Let's go there. Why would we go to Older Mills and go somewhere else where
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Keep the money. We was doing that early on, so
Word.
We
So,
need
man.
a lot more of that black spinning with black people.
it's true. And the events though, like I think that's major. Like because for a business, a black owned. So let's just say, hey, I call on y'all right now, all the black owned business owners in the city. You know what I'm saying? Get together this summer. Sponsor an event. It's gonna bring it's free advertisement for you. You sponsor the event, everybody put in 5, put in 10, whatever you gotta do, and let the kids come out and enjoy it, because them kids is gonna end up being your customers one day.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? You cater to the kids. See, I got a business mind now. I'm in
Yeah.
the school now.
Yeah,
But
right.
don't think I just picked
Right.
this stuff up.
Back in the day, buy my
But
shit.
back in the day.
He like, oh, if I had a legendary time machine right now, damn it, I would have took.
But you know what we do? Our kids, man. My sons do music. His son do music.
Word.
Our children, they
Shout out
ain't
to
went
Lil
nowhere.
Ezo, he got some stuff
Look.
coming up, man.
Yeah,
He got
Lil
that
Ezo.
They know he about to drop.
Yeah.
Code
Yeah,
3,
we- yeah, we-
Code 3 out there.
We
yeah.
still in it, man. We still
out to
doing
Keith
some
Lou.
doing our music.
Yeah, man. We got another generation, so that's the time machine right now.
For
You know,
sure.
we just do something different. I don't think I have it in me to do a tour right now. I mean, I probably could.
Yeah.
I got kids. I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not listen, bro. I'm trying to build businesses right now. You know what I mean?
So
Like-
let's talk about the transition into like gospel music, because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I looked up, you know what I'm saying, like your I think called Crucial something music.
Yep,
Yeah.
Christian music ministry. Yeah,
That. So you leaving from Dayton to go start a new pillar there, and you rebrand yourself again. I mean, you was rapid fire punching here, rapping, and then you know what I'm saying, y'all harmonizing with Sis and them, and then you go out there and then you start something new all over again.
I did. And shout out to Teresa Richardson, because you know, I got married, man, and I ended up doing it. And so my mindset kind of changed when, you know, that happened. But, you know, after that, I was still doing secular music for a while. But then I just, you know, when I went, I did do a gospel album, and to me, it wasn't never like gospel, right? It was more like, this is just where I am in life right now, so I'm just rapping what I feel. After that moment, I had
that was the Scars album release party.
Scars, yeah, at Scars,
album
yep, at the album release party, we did that. And so I was in a circuit of gospel music in Texas, which was a big scene. It was like huge. So you got the Lecrae's, and I'm meeting all of these, the Trip Lee, shout out to Trip, and you know, I was at the Christian Lounge and just performing. They had what I wish was here, like just an outlet for you, a community of people that was really working. And I was like, wow, that's kind of dope. And so as my life was changing and I was doing some different things, my music changed at that time.
Yes.
But I did realize that, you know, it went too far left for where my comfort was. You know, I was there because I was coming back into my spirituality. I always say I'm not really a religious guy, but my spirituality I was seeing with a different set of eyes, right?
Yes.
And so I went to a hard press, you know, this music is really about love and Jesus, right? This is where I'm at. You know, it's not like Bible verses and I'm trying to be a scholar. It's just like, this is where I'm at in my relationship. So it's a whole set of music right there. But then I realized that I'm a combination of two people. And so I had to get back to a focal point of where I'm just doing good music. Now, I don't cuss in my music, but that don't mean that my music don't have like I can easily talk about, I'm a storyteller. You know, me and my brother have done collaborations, like, so I didn't want to be, and Lecrae said this best, but I didn't want to be too street for the church or too church for the street. And either way, it wasn't me. You know, I'm somewhere in between, because like I said, I started playing drums in the church when I was 6. You know what I'm saying? I strayed away from it. You know, my mama had us in church. We strayed away. We got to live our own lives. We got to figure out things for ourselves. So I went straight and gravitated to what I didn't have, which was a father figure. And so I got that in my guys around me. You know what I mean? So this is the macho that I get, but nobody had the wisdom. We all was smart, but wasn't nobody wise, because we just didn't have the age. You know, everybody learning at the same pace. Right. So
you can't drink a book.
You can't drink a book. You feel me? Yeah. So once I realized that, you know, and then coming back to it, I have a good balance of music where I am. I'm comfortable with it. Like my brother say, I never stop recording. You know, I have my moments, but I'm always producing, like, and I'm still doing those types of things. We got some things on the rise right now too. But that's definitely always gonna be in me. You know, it's a different. It's just like I said, still trying to create a new genre. It just in general, like it ain't got to be all about this, but it ain't got to be all about that either. Because if you start cutting off certain people, like, well, I'm only rapping about this stuff, so it cuts the streets off, and then I'm only rapping about this stuff, it cuts the church or the spiritual connection. But I've always had both.
Right.
You know, even when I was doing secular music, we were doing songs about God. I mean, it was what we knew. So we, you know, it wasn't like it wasn't there, but that's not what was selling though.
Right.
You know, unless you was Pac, like, you know, Pac could be talking about
whatever you would like.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? He talking about Dear Mama, and then he talking about I Get Around. You feel me? And then, and he easily make those transition, and then we're like, oh, Pac trying to sound like no, that was just Pac's version of what he was going through at the time.
Absolutely.
So we took that. We took that.
I always felt like the church, which should be a place where it should be open and everybody. Like, it's going to be accepted for who you are.
It should, yeah.
You should be able to have that conversation in church. Like, to me, the spiritual person has more bearings in the church than the person being all snooty saying, you need to follow this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we all fall short every single day. And to me, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you having that, like, both, like, for instance, you can't be tested without a testimony, right? So for you to have both sides of that will be somebody, I want to listen to a church rap somebody that's, yeah, I've always walked the perfect line.
Right.
You can't talk me off of a ledge if you ain't never stepped
on a ledge.
Okay?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, bro.
That's very true. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's a balance. Like, are we all a bunch of different? We're a combination of our experiences, right?
Absolutely.
So you are literally one experience away from the next type of character you're gonna have. So like you could be walking along your life and then somebody close to you die, your character changes.
Yes.
You can get a whole lot of money, your character changes. You can learn that dude wasn't your best friend, that your character changes. So every experience is about how, and that's what God wants. He gives you things to work on your character, right? And when I realized that, when I really realized, like, man, so everybody got this saying like, oh man, the devil is busy. How many times you heard that? The devil is busy. Woke up late today, the devil is busy, right? But at the end of the day, the devil can only be as busy as God let him. God got him on a chokehold. So if he want to grow you, he gonna loosen it.
Yeah.
If he like, hey, that's too much. He gonna tighten it up.
We all know the story of Job.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but when you think about it, we always our energy be in the wrong direction. It ain't about what the devil doing and trying to do this, that, and the third, or demons and all of that. It ain't like that for me.
Right.
For me, it's more like God allowed me to go through this situation. So my first question is, okay, what you want me to learn out of this? Like, okay, I feel real hood today. Like, this is a situation. This dude tested my patience. I'm finna put the pause on him. You feel me? What do you want me to learn from this situation? Because it's not like
hit him with a cross.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with a cross. Right cross, left cross, and the uppercut. That's a whole crucifixion in that boy.
He gonna be baptized in the blood today.
Hey, look,
right now.
Yeah, the Bible boys, man.
Come on.
But you know,
Bible boys. See that?
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You better get that punchline off of the, you know
That's so crazy,
secular
man.
music there.
Yeah. But see, people, I think if you really, to be honest, if musicians really just went with what was inside of them and not what comes from outside, we'll have a lot of different music.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm in tune with
we,
that now.
We just live in a situation where nowadays, first of all, let me get this off. We're living in a different world than in the 70s and all of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you'll never know what actual good is unless you've been bad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now we are living in a generation where the children, first of all, we're living in a day and age where the children now think they're smarter than the parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
How that is, I don't know.
We all did. But look. Wait. We all did. Look. I remember that saying where it says, man, my parents were so stupid when I was little. And the older I got, the smarter they got. You ain't never heard that?
Yeah.
The term, because it's like, I remember this like yesterday, man. Shout out Mama Love, man. My mama told me, do not hang around this person. And I said, for what? Man, that's my friend.
Right.
Mom said, well, man, you gonna find out. This same person was the person who told the police he was more friends with the police than he was with me.
Right?
You told him
Everything.
Hey,
You know my middle name?
yeah. You cool with him than you is with me.
Yeah, he more friends.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
For
I'm
real.
telling you, so I just think like we get like so we get to that point of age where we can look back with our privileged position and say, oh, you know, so I wouldn't have did it like that, or my kids is effing up this and the third. But in all actuality, like our kids are probably better than what we were we had a lot more leeway to do stuff like how you said, you know what I'm saying? Like when dad gone, I got to jump off the porch, do whatever I wanted to go do. Got to jump on my son ain't did none of this stuff I done did. But I was sitting there going off of him over the stupid stuff he do, knowing he better than me.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, case in point. I just had this conversation.
And I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
I was just having this conversation. I was like, okay, so you know what an algorithm is?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you remember?
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Do you remember when you learned that term? The first time you ever heard it?
Oh
3
man.
months ago.
How many?
It's new. About 3 months ago.
About 3 months ago.
Well, I've been doing a bunch of marketing and stuff like that.
How long though?
Years, probably when the internet first came out and we started trying to learn about .coms and stuff like that.
How old you think you were?
In my 30s, almost.
Okay, and you actually went for technical training, right? I learned that word maybe about 3 years ago.
Oh wow!
Right, so it's been a little while. Just I heard it before. I was like, dang, this how they getting us with these algorithms. I'm trying to tell everybody I know. My 8-year-old son came home. He was like, guess what we learned today in school? I said, what? We learned about algorithms. And I was like, oh, what's an algorithm? He's like, well, it's a mathematical equation but he was able to lay it out for me.
Yeah, like articulate.
He's 8, and this is my point. This has made the world not only shrink, but it's also made your scope shrink because now I wasn't 8 years old learning about algorithms.
Yeah.
Imagine where I would be right now if I was 8 years old and I learned about algorithms. So these kids
kid in the 60s is like an 8-year-old kid today. It's like 18. 1971, when I was born, an 8-year-old kid in that era, it's fucking 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's technology, the information
Because the information
comes
that they
to a
get
child is quicker
You
than
old
we
as
had
hell,
to
by
go
the
to
way,
the
too.
library.
So
and get
now-
it.
Oh, what?
We nuts?
So
The
now
library cards?
Right, we had to
Wait,
go
with
to
the
library.
smudge signature, the signature was always smudged. Always smudged
I'm
up.
how old we all are. I'm how old we all are. The Dewey Decimal System?
Shout out to the Dewey
We just
Decimal.
confuse every young person that watch the podcast.
They looking it up on Google right now.
And the gal up in it.
But I was
man.
listen. That's my whole point. Like if I had my children when I was 20 and now I turned 40, right? So my kids are now the age I was when I had them.
Yes.
They done been through a pandemic. They done been through. My son, he didn't even get to graduate. I done told him his whole life, man, just get through school. And in that year, we did a drive-by graduation. It crushed him. Had a full ride, 4.3 GPA. Shout out to Cole.
Stop you real quick.
Look,
What would a drive-by graduate sound
look.
like?
I know. That's why I said. That's why I said.
A drive-by. Pew, pew. They shoot.
Yeah. Drive-by graduation,
Go ahead.
man. But you know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
pull up, pop out, take a picture, get your thing, and go. Because
Yeah.
the planet's sick, right?
Yeah.
My son had a full ride. They kept playing with him. You know, he was supposed to go to Wilberforce. And they was playing with him. You know, he wanted to do music, but we like, okay, if you're going to do school, I mean, you smart. So let him pay for your education. Go up there, do whatever, you know.
Right. Exactly.
It crushed him, though, because they were like, okay, we're going to open it up. Oh, we're going to shut it down. Open it up. Okay, we'll do online schooling. He was like, I'm out. I'm already making money at the studio. You know what I mean? He already entered the workforce. Like, why now? And I can't find a good justification to be like, no, you need. Now, it does give you structure, but at the end of the day, you don't need school no more.
Yeah,
and because look, college. Listen, everything that we learned in high school and what they try to teach you in college, like okay, you got calculus and all this math and everything, all them subjects. Listen, it was designed for a place in time though.
Go ahead.
So most of our parents, they worked at what the GM plant or it was factories and plants and jobs. So what the school design, the structure of school is designed to teach your kids what they need to know to be a good worker,
right?
To get in those fields, in those areas of life, which you don't even. What do you need? Somebody I just read up on this the other day, like. That system is going to somewhere every day where you have to go repetitively. It don't sound just like work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You get a little break. It's all designed for you to be a worker. No, we're not setting our kids up to be bosses. And so that's why I had to change my mentality of saying, man, you need to go to college. No, well, hey, let me learn what you know. So in what we were saying earlier, where we thought if parents are stupid, they may really think we're stupid now because it's moving so much faster. They really have forgot stuff that we haven't even learned yet because they on this all day. I'm living life still. I'm still in the real world. Most of their day is right here. It's a fantasy world. We even got fantasy money, crypto.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We even everything.
Well,
I mean,
I would say this, sir.
it's very real.
Fantasy,
I mean, I know. But what it brings is very real. But the actual money, credit cards, fantasy money. I mean, it's not even tangible. You feel me?
U.S. dollar is fiat currency to begin with. I mean, U.S. dollar. Wait. Because in our lifetime, we've seen it go from the gold standard, which I was actually backed by gold. Now it's only backed by our fucking government and our military. Like our military can say, nigga, it's still worth $1. You like,
no, it's not.
It's worth $1.
Right.
It's still worth $1.
I said,
so
give me $1.
So fiat currency is already a term. So, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's the same process of you.
Peanut, you got to school me on this.
And y'all got to check Peanut out. Check him out on Sundays. Every Sunday here, he go live and he teaching you about that. And him and Smad Ben.
For real.
I gotta try it out.
It always been like
but
that.
I've been,
the fucking gold.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about.
Shout out to Smith.
Think about like, I always what I knew of him. I think he was more advanced than the average teen.
Always.
Because of he dealt with gold.
Always.
Fuck money and all of that. Think about like this is ancient history shit. He dealt with gold and that's why you'll never go broke fucking with gold.
Absolutely.
For your mother.
Man, we met Smith so long ago, man. He always showed us love.
For sure.
Always back with the Oacoa cold
one
in
more
the
thing
snow.
about
What was
Smith.
that? Was that Spark? That Spanks? Was that? What was the club in Jefferson? Where we used Spunkies used to have Ohio Coalition up there like once a week, and we was like, man, let us get up. Like I remember like before, and then we finally opened up, and it was one of them things like they used to be out there, and I never forget, man. Colder than the snow up blower, man. Was it Peanut? I think that was man. He had some fire bars, like, hey, with his braces on, like, man. I always used to, all them dudes, man. We were super cool, and we were super young, man.
That's when they had actual groups, man.
That was the Dayton super group for real. Yeah, man. 'Cause they was making noise.
So I saw that y'all did a song with J Mose before. J Mose.
Yeah, man.
That's my man, bro. That one of the first things I recorded.
Forgot. Yeah, for real. I forgot. Like, so J Mose and he used to go by Frost.
Yep.
Frostbite. Yeah. And shout out to J Mose, and it was at the club downtown. We had they used to do the hip hop nights, and that's when we was
we ain't fucking around. That's our song,
we was don't yep.
To me the other day.
And I be forgetting about music. We got music I be forgetting about. So when Don't Stop was heavy, he was like the heavy hitter down there at the spot. He was winning every week, and it was like a little cash prize because he would rap. And he would just be on a pivot, and he would rap in a circle. He had all this energy. He would just rap in a circle. And I'm like, dang, that dude turned up. You put him on him, like him, because this dude is vicious. Like he own you. Like where I'm just like I might sit down, and just start going. You know, we had showmanship, so dude had showmanship, and so
the anchor.
He gonna give it to him. And so, but we met him for the first time, and we was like the top 3.
Word.
The battle rap, and I think I ended up having to battle him at the end.
What?
I won that one. Shout out to Jay. I did win
that
one. Shout out, man, because he was going. He had his own.
He was sitting in that seat, baby. He was.
Hey, listen. But the thing about it was back then, it was real live Apollo style. Like if we was deep, we was gonna win because if it's crowd participation, we finna bring the crowd. We knew not that it wasn't skill for skill because I mean they was keeping it real, but. Because he had a following, and they was like, man, nah, dude, you gotta get it. Don't stop. And we in there, D-O-N-T-S-D-O-P, we don't stop. And everybody, we was just energy. We came through with just so much energy. After that, I was like, hey, I did what's always been in my heart. Like, let's link. It wasn't no animosity because I ain't know him. And so we ended up doing some music, man. We did that in his living room. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot all about it, but yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I like J Mo.
So I also did some research on you and saw you went through a hurricane situation down there in Houston.
Yeah, so I'm a Harvey survivor, man. So
man, bro, walk us through that, man. What was that like?
So when I was in Texas, I lived there for 9 years, and I was in Dallas, Arlington, Texas for 6 years, and then I was in Houston. It was a suburb of Houston called Katy, Texas. And it's
shout out to Texas.
Yeah, shout out to Texas, man.
Stay out in Dallas.
Yeah. Texas, Katy is one of them spots where you'll still go to a Denny's and you'll see like
a dude with like hanging from a rope. Like it was
Already.
like
Oh,
it's still out there. Yeah, that Katie, y'all know,
Already.
out there in the world, like Katie got some spots you just don't want to be, you know. But anyway, so the first year we got there. So when I moved up there, the first year we got there, it was like just a rain flood, and it was crazy. They don't have the system to really do anything with rain like that, which really.
It's weird to
It's
me.
weird because it's right by the was Galveston is right there. So anyway, Harvey came, and I'm telling you, people was rafting up and down the street, up and down the block. We couldn't get water into the area. They was literally like they was playing in the sewers, like not my kind of people, but you know, there was some people that was a little creamier colored. I'm just saying, it wasn't none of my kind of people. I see y'all looking like, was you out there? Like, no, I was in my house.
I let him pass the feet. I let him pass the feet. He called me Anglo. Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, you know. So they was in that, you know.
Shout out to my Anglo-Saxons.
Shout out Saxon feet, man. Love you, man.
But yeah, so that was crazy though. But I think we were blessed. The water got up to my right up to the edge of my house, like right off my porch.
Oh my God.
I just bought a new car. I'm like trying to get it as far in the garage. It was crazy though. It was crazy because the water, like, so it's hurricanes down there, but this particular hurricane, it just sat over the Houston area.
And
it
wet y'all up.
And so it was so big that it was drawing up water from the Gulf and just dumping and dropping and dumping. And it did it for like 3 days straight. It just kept raining. It would not stop raining. And we couldn't go nowhere, so it was rough, man. People died at Harvey. It took a while, too.
What's the guy name from Texas, the rapper? Shout out to
which one?
Zero. And,
Zero.
The one with them Texas rappers, they had some rappers that was outside doing that thing.
Yeah,
helping the community.
Yeah, they was out there helping, for sure.
Helping, man.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
People needed help, and them FEMA checks wasn't getting it.
That's why, like I said, going to Texas, I met so many people. Like, I met Spud Webb. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to shake his hand just because it was Spud Webb. I had his poster on my, but he was like doing music, and I won a contest. So this is one of the times going back and forth. It was so you know, prime time, right? No.
Man, something's wrong with you, man.
Webb taller than me.
Man, Spud Webb is 6 foot. He's out with me. He just short to them. Nah, he was.
Man, you was a fool, man.
He said, "Attaboy."
Hey,
Spud. He said that.
Hey y'all, we gonna take a pause for the calls. We gotta do a commercial break.
Yeah,
so we're
that's
gonna take a
what's
pause for the calls real quick,
Sure.
and we'll be right back with DNA.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hottronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Nacho. Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for? Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though. We get our rent paid. Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent? That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they said?
They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings. Photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you. Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hottronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Nacho. Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for? Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He He said he called me though. He get our rent paid. Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real. I might just ask Boss when we get our job that night. Of course you can. Yeah!
What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings. Photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you.
Good, it's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource, man. Make sure I cop some merch from your boy, man. It's going crazy right now in this capitalist clothing. But yeah, man, let's give a shout out to our sponsors while we got time to take a little breathing break, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you go holla at Shiekhs for breakfast. Make sure y'all go down there, man. Y'all get the turkey bacon and everything like that. I like the mimosas down there personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I go down there, give me a couple little drinks while I drop the kids off of school. Don't tell their parents.
I tried the omelet. The omelet was banging. I should have took a picture of it. It looked so good. I didn't want to eat it.
I forgot to eat the phone. Yeah. Agnes All Natural Grill, man. The pineapple bowl. I went out and got the oxtail last time I was there. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? They got that with the peas and all. It was all amazing. You know what I'm saying? What was that? The brown sugar lemonade?
Oh, yeah, I had some of that.
Are you telling me there's some Cajun food down here?
In Trinidad, but it's actually right there on the corner of Wayne and 3rd.
Get the
Wayne and 3rd, yeah.
They got one in the mall, too.
Oh, I'm going.
Agnes All Natural Grill, brother. We just sold you one. Make sure you send that check. And if you ever want to have a good time, make sure you get some Kiara Wine. Matter of fact, we gonna pop some of this. Is that cool? Y'all want to?
Yeah.
Come on.
Pop one. I'm always down.
Pop one of these real quick. You know what I'm saying? And of course,
Nothing for cuz. He's good.
if you ever injured in an accident or you was at one of these guys' shows back in the day, please make sure you contact attorney Michael Wright.
We're doing a show with the Delphonics.
And Jay is hilarious, man. Jay is hilarious.
Did y'all not see the podcast where Ghostface and the Delphonics got in a shootout?
What? Wait.
Shut the. Wait. That's the last thing I thought you was going to say, bro.
We're going to talk about that another time.
Yeah. That's a story for another day, boy.
So I'm ready for the legendary handshake. Like, when did y'all meet Mr. Easy, man? Not Easy.
Okay, I got a story for you.
Let's go. And look, and don't hold back neither. Light his ass up.
And I got to cut you.
It's all love.
It's all love. Matter of fact, this was, I don't know what year it was, but all of a sudden my daddy made me, I tell you what, you better get you a motherfucking job.
Get you one of them.
Get you a motherfucking job.
That's what time it was. It was that time.
That's Uncle Jimmy, too. He sounded like
16.
I was 16 years old.
First
and
job.
So I put an application in at McDonald's on Germantown. And then got the job and all that. My first day at work, I'm up in there nervous and salty that I got to be in there. My daddy, he did one of these numbers where the fucked up part about it is just get 2 cups, I don't drink.
Okay.
The fucked up part about it is he stayed there like for 10 minutes just to make sure I was working. So he was just
Drop the
looking at me like
fries.
this. He was looking at me like this, like, you better be working. So, anywho, I see it was three guys. You know how you got the regular grill and you got the quarter pounder grill, and then you had fish fillets. So they put me on the fish fillets. and I seen two dudes that was on the regular and the quarter pounder. They was like, cheese count on Red. Cheese count on Red.
It was
Kevin Easley.
Right. And of course, you know, we made
the legendary McDonald's. The legendary
Shout
McDonald's.
out to McDonald's on it's rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. man.
His first day he started, remember it was Mellowdale against Dunbar. We was about to fight Wayne and them. He's like, where I get hired at?
Shout out to Dwayne Moore. Dwayne, that's one of my good friends too. He a pastor now.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it was a brawl with the Mellowdale cats and the Dunbar cats. Now, mind you, I'm a Townview cat.
Facts.
So this dude just kept on staring at me. Remember when Dwayne? Listen, this dude just kept on staring at me like this. He was just like. No, man, no, get off of me. Great honest nigga, man.
Not blinking.
Yeah, not blinking.
We at work.
It wouldn't work. So it was a Dunbar nigga looking at me. However, Kevin them came out the blue and, you know what I'm saying, didn't know me from a can of paint and just took up for me, especially to that mud. Shout out to R.I.P. Mud. Oh, that motherfucker, he would throw a spatula.
a spatula.
Wait.
We was cooking.
I need a timeout. This happened at McDonald's?
Yeah. Hey, I'm thinking it's I'm thinking so else.
Yeah, somebody nigga do a spatula. I'm like, that's a weird.
It's a real beef, man. It's a real beef.
Real beef while you was cooking beef.
It was a real beef. I'm like, damn, McDonald's got real beef.
Grade A beef, as a matter of fact.
So Kevin has this car. It was a white LTD.
Okay.
The boat.
The boat.
Yes. We all gets off of work and jumps in that car.
Okay.
And this was the first time I think I had a couple cold ones. It was the first time I drank a beer and everything. And then Kev riding over meetings and everything. Kev was a wild card. I'm telling you.
And I met Kev. We met Kev through
Here we go.
through Cuz once again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You should be a talent man.
I'm telling you, bro. Like you have an untapped potential.
I know a lot of people. So it got to the point where I told Kev I know how to dance and stuff. So Kev one day came to my school. How the fuck did
he know what school?
We was in class. We were kids. Like how did like he was my daddy or something like. Andre, you know. Brian, please can you come on?
I said Durrell need dancers. He got a show. Durrell need dancers today.
I
Took
told
him out of
you after
Trapwood.
Vincent and Broderick left, me and Brian Bentley.
They came and kidnapped y'all, basically.
Literally.
That's wild.
It took off after
Kevin the
that.
kidnapper.
It took off after that because our personalities clicked. And we went to every talent show in the city of Dayton. Was winning them motherfuckers. Was we not?
Crazy.
Shout out to Papa B, Kevo. And then Durrell asked me and Brian to dance for him to see was we the kind of people that he wanted to have in his stage show.
Right.
We did, and that's all she wrote. Because we was rhythm and blues.
Word.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So when did y'all meet him, man?
Oh man, it seems like I've known him so long. I can't even remember. I think it was
Don't Stop.
Don't stop.
It was Don't Stop.
Don't Stop.
Because,
I got a story. I met these guys, Don't Stop Records, Kev Nard and them.
See, we was young, man. We was
and B
really
in there
young.
recording, and we think we doing something. They like, but I told Dre,
I
get
do
them,
remember
hook them
that.
with Nard and them.
Yep, I
So
do remember
we in there
that.
recording, then they like, yeah, we got Dave and Aaron about to come through. We like, Dre's cousins? They like, yeah. And Keith, twin Keith, he just looked like, he said, there go my spot at record.
Oh, wow.
So we said, okay, we's in there recording. Then they get there, and we just start hearing them flipping and Nard and them. We didn't record no more. Me and Bumblebee didn't. We didn't record no more, but we wasn't mad at it, you know, because, you know, you got the East Town Posse, Cartel. You know, we had our styles, but they had a new... even though Twister came with it, but to be from Dayton,
different.
they had that new flip mode on them. And
Because
you know, that's what Nard and them wanted. So
you know, because I was a young nigga,
We heard about them.
We heard about them, but then that's when we first met them. And you know, it was like family since the first day for real.
So you just imagine like 8 more of us. Bumblebee, the twins,
Machete.
Machete,
He was my age.
Flip.
Skeeter Fly,
Like
flip.
Kevin
Skeeter
Hart
Fly,
was
he
on
was
Suge
flipped
Knight and
then.
shit.
Right.
Was he
Skeeter
not?
Fly was flipped then.
Yeah, Flip.
His name is what now?
Skeeter Fly.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah.
That's
He
flipped.
do a radio thing,
Yep,
right?
93.8 Fly.
Shout
Right.
out to
Yeah.
Shout out to Skeeter
Yeah.
Fly.
I never knew that.
And his son is a dog. I'm talking about going to the league.
On the football, yeah, on the football.
Hooping.
field.
Hooping,
Oh, he
yeah.
hooping now too?
Yeah, his young son, he on the wall.
He got 101.
He over here,
to
he's on the
0.
wall. He be winning the
James,
trophies.
A dog, a whole
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip got kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they around my kids' age.
That's real. I ain't know that.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that boy got talent.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
on, as far as the music side. He'll
For sure.
always just tap me on my shoulder at the damnedest times, most inopportune times.
Yeah.
In fact, I could be crying about something or something we're going through with a bride or something like. Not to say that I cry about it.
He does.
So what you're saying is,
I wasn't crying, my eyes were just sweating.
What is this salty discharge?
Oh my God.
Hey, how the twins died?
Yeah. Like how the twins died.
Keith passed away
Motorcycle?
first on a motorcycle, in a
Congratulations,
motorcycle accident, and then Kev
Had a heart attack.
had a heart attack.
Dang, man.
Ended up having a heart attack, man. Yeah,
I
R.I.P.
remember
to the
me and the
twins.
twins because I was never a rapper. I was just singing on everybody's hooks. I was the Nate Dogg of the
Yep.
clique.
Yep.
Like me and the twins got hella songs. However, he was the writer for everything that I did.
Yeah,
All this.
Yeah, Dave was still.
Yeah, still like
Hell of a
to this
writer.
day, if
Hell
you
of a
hear
writer.
the last CD you did up to this point right here, we just did a show at the shout out to the Croc Center. We did a show at the Croc Center. How long ago?
About
Last
2 months
year?
ago? No, I thought you did something.
it was
not
over
long
the summer.
ago.
It was over the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, the album right now that this guy got, like he's very talented on the right side.
Yeah.
But as far as the off top, this guy right here, like he can every time if they come with some new music, I get chicken skin like I always tell them, like oh, like for real. So that's how you feel.
It was a good balance,
It's
and
like-
then we produced everything.
Right.
I think that it was like our gift and our curse, right? Like we started producing because we was broke and we couldn't afford
Right.
to buy beats, so we bought the equipment and we just taught ourselves. Now we always had music, but like I didn't have somebody like other than Flip. Flip did show me some stuff like when I first started, but other than that, it's like on the production side, like we were able to really dig into that side of things, and that's really what's stuck with us the whole time.
Word, man. So here on the Legendary People Podcast, we got a thing called the Butterfly Effect. Was there something you said during the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found truly profound and amazing? You know what I mean? Just like me going through like y'all whole life about where y'all started, about y'all just keeping it loyal. Because I mean, like you hear like most groups break up over money and stuff like that. It's like y'all had that brotherhood together, like no matter what, bro. Like we always gonna rock together. Like even when y'all was separate, y'all still was together. You know what I'm saying? Like to see, you know what I'm saying? Like even like bro was brilliant in its own regard, and that's part of y'all DNA. Y'all literally have a legendary
Right.
DNA. That's a bar.
That's
Right?
a bar.
You know what I mean? But then when you just think about everything in like its totality, bro, I always go back to Mama Love, man. Like Mama Love working with Shirley Caesar, just having that you know what I'm saying? Like that type of work. And I just feel like that is something that's in y'all. Like y'all carry yourself in a dating fashion no matter where y'all at. I mean, like y'all are just as much publicized as being great artists as don't F with us either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's something like as a Daytonian, I respect that because that's how I carry myself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see y'all, I see a reflection of myself, like I said before. Everybody would say, man, dating ain't a bad place until you've been somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then to see y'all go off and then still flourish. And like you said before, I'm like, so what would y'all do if y'all went back? He said, no, the time machine is our kids, bro. To me, it's nothing more legendary than y'all celebrating what y'all done, not to mention who's going to carry on the legacy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched one of your son's videos. He out there rapping. It's like them in the, you know what I'm saying? He like rapping. It was super dope to see that and him holding the DNA flag still. And it's like, that lets me know like everything I need to know. Like a man is respected by his work, his peers, and his sons. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that shows the true legacy, man, of y'all, man. Y'all absolutely 100% legends, bro.
We appreciate that, bro. Definitely appreciate that. I didn't even know I was till I got the call. I said,
you know, we don't think you
got the right number.
Right. Like we always know, like, you know, when you think about like what we've done and everything, we still got work to do, you know, like with like producing and still creating songs. Like I still think that, but the why behind the what has just changed a little bit. You know, I do music because I love it. You know, and I know I make a song and I'm like, man, bro, you got to hear this, or you got to. We still do that. We just that's not all we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would just say, you know, if it wasn't for the legacy that we leave, you know, going back, I would if I was telling myself now to that person back then, I would just say get yourself around some people that can cultivate what you're trying to do. Because like the money is there, and I tell my son all the time, I say, man, because you know a lot of times you as an 18, 19-year-old, you know, hey, what do you want out of life? Man, I just want to be rich. Or no, they don't even say that. They say I want to be famous. And I said, well, be famous for what? You can be famous for being a schmuck. You know, you can be famous for being, you know, you can be famous for a lot of stuff. So I always tell these young artists that I run up on and everything, everybody chasing the bag, and that's cool. I'm not tripping on that. But at the end of the day, if you just chase your dream, do what you love to do, whether you're not getting paid for it or not, because see, the passion is what's going to keep you in that position. Right. Like if you're just doing it because the bag right there right now, you're going to be let down because the bag gonna go. It's not always going to be there. Yeah. Even if you play sports or whatever you do, everything got a time on it. Yep. You know, you're gonna get older, you're gonna age, you hopefully get smarter, but the money comes with the wisdom. It's not. It's not vice versa. You don't go get money and then you become wise. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like the money come with the wisdom. Like, oh, okay, now look at a dollar. And another thing that I learned just recently is that, you know, your perception, it forms your reality. So if you think that money is all that you out there for, that's all you worth, then that's what it's gonna be. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Like the way you perceive things, even if I tell you every day, like, hey man, I don't do nothing street no more. And then next day you see me out doing something street. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm what you doing, man? I thought you wasn't doing this crucial no more. Like, yeah, man, I mean, it is just a one-time thing. I don't do it often. Then you see me do something else that was suspect like about 2 weeks from there. Okay, you gonna start believing what you see or what I tell you. What I tell you. Right. So your perspective, even though I told you I don't do it, means nothing. Your perspective has now formed your reality of who I am. Right. So some people say, you know, when people tell you, show you who they are, believe them, you know, say that type of concept. So we just try to believe, you know, get blood from a turnip so much, and we willing to like X everybody else out around us. Like, oh, you hot dude is really good at that. And you know, I was watching one of the podcasts, and Ready Baby was on there. Ready Baby. And I remember being at DNA Productions, and I was trying to get with all these cats. There was a lot of these cats that was like moving this way and that way, and for whatever reason, we never connected. And I was just thinking in my mind, like, dang, man, where would we have been if we really would have been able to get this concept out there, like for real? Like you hot, he was always hot in his own like, and then you had like what the Dating View dude, what was they called? The dating
he be here tonight, DVH Hall.
Them dudes came, they was deep. Legends. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So and that's how you know the loyalty is there, because see, I remember them, and no matter what group that I name, we never had no crosses. Like I never had an issue with like them or any. Right. I was always like, oh, okay, that's dope. I see why people like that. I see why, you know what I'm saying? Right. And so for me, let us be DNA, and you be you, and you be you, and that's what. Then when they see us, they got to take us all or nothing, and they gonna come our way. They gonna start knocking on our door. So I don't know. I still believe in the city. Yeah, man. I still believe in the city. I honestly do, man.
And I think what y'all have put together is something that I feel can benefit the city. I think y'all got enough skin in the game for, like I said before, like you knowing the business side of it is gonna benefit the DNA of the future. You know what I'm saying? Like you knowing now, man, I should have did this, I should have did that. Right. That's that my mama telling me you shouldn't hang with him, he the police. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You have that for the next generation of that, King. So man, bro, I appreciate you. What you about to say?
Aaron, what could you leave us with for the young rappers like your son and them to elevate their careers and not fall for anything?
Man, just keep going, man, and don't lose your heart, man. Because it's a whole. It ain't a whole different ball game now, but it's different. You got the internet beef and all of that shit. Yeah. Stay focused. Right. Stay focused and don't let that shit distract you, man. It's so easy to fall off your square over a motherfucker who didn't even, like my son had a motherfucker just talking shit. You don't even know him. Right? Yeah. But it'll knock you off your square. Next thing you know, you grabbing a 45. Yeah. Over a motherfucker you ain't even never met, don't know, don't give a fuck about.
Hip hop only work on Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Right. Crowd chasers and
They argue with you at a McDonald's somewhere until they cut it off. Like.
So to the young guys, man, keep doing what you're doing and get your and get your bearings and try to come with the fire originally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we about to revamp for this second generation. Like I said, we got Trey, we got Lil Ezo, my nieces is singing.
Dre, your son can sing. Marquise can sing, Dre.
Marquise, our whole. It's
enough.
like a whole different. It's like we've been reborn a little bit. You know what I mean?
DNA, the rebirth.
DNA, the rebirth.
That's what it is.
We might need to, do a little album like that. But get with us even today, man. We ain't dead. We just old. No, I'm just kidding. He just old.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
Well,
Get with us.
please make sure whenever y'all got some upcoming projects, y'all make sure to holler at us because we get them back in here for Artist Spotlight, which we've been putting together, where we're going to be highlighting new people who really ain't legends yet, but they on their way. So we going to help them, you know what I'm saying, with our platform and our push, man. So man, I appreciate y'all brothers coming out.
We appreciate y'all inviting us, man. We do, man, for real, man.
Sure.
Had an awesome time,
Yeah,
man.
this is awesome.
Hey, y'all mess with this podcast, and especially, I know I'm not a plug, but this Kiara Pleasure Peach.
Yes, sir.
This is where it's at. I ain't gonna cap to you,
Hey.
man. I am a fan, and I will be purchasing a couple of bottles
There we go.
in the near future.
There we go, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate y'all,
And we're
man.
going to hit y'all for part 2 because we need it.
Already,
Yeah,
number
part
love,
two.
man. Number love, man.
All right,
Appreciate
one
y'all
love,
having us.
everybody.
Legendary View Podcast.
Thanks for
Legendary
tuning
People.
in.